hope everything's going well. We're going to be recreating a scene from a movie I recently watched. I was procrastinating, I didn't feel like making a video, and I was just tired, and then I said, wait a minute, this scene's really cool. How about we recreate it in a video? VFX is something that's actually really cool, and some of it isn't too hard to get into, and you guys can add these little things to your videos to make them just pop out more and push that quality. I'm going to be using After Effects in this video, but you can use many other programs. It's very similar to what we're doing here. You can also use Fusion with Davinci Resolve, which is free. So here is the clip from the movie. As you can see, they're riding on a bridge, and they've got these two lines on top of their heads, and as the camera zooms out, you can see that this is like a flagpole showing their location. And the whole theme of the movie is this girl who starts playing this game, gets out of her comfort zone, and the game is either a player or a watcher. A player gets dared by watchers to do certain dares, like jump off a bridge, let's say, into water, and if you do it, you get a bunch of money. If you don't, you don't.
Toaster in the bathtub. I'm sick of all the games I have to play. I'm tired of being
And whenever people are walking around and doing things, you always have like these gamer tags on top of their heads. So we're gonna go and recreate that scene for one of the characters. After digging around a bunch on the internet, I found my ideal clip here. Let's play it and see what it looks like. Sadly, it's a bit too high to actually see a road or cars, so we're just gonna pretend our character is in one of the buildings and we're gonna track our flag to one of those buildings. But before we do any tracking, before we get into that stuff, I'm gonna need to create the flag. Alright, so here is After Effects. I have my clip inside of it. This is what the clip looks like with absolutely nothing done to it. Now, what we're gonna do is first create the flag, because we need something to put when we track the camera. So the first thing we need to do is go and create a solid. This solid is going to be our flag pole. I'm not sure exactly what glue I want to use, so I'm just going to play around with it and find the one that works for me. Then we're going to go and create a second solid, which is going to be our flag background. This is going to be like a nice gray opaque wall, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make that. First thing I'm going to do is make it a bit smaller. Same thing with our flag. We're going to make our flag just a thin wall for now, and then this is going to be our flag background. It does not have to be properly sized, so we're going to go and mesh these two up to a acceptable size, and then the last step is to go and create a new text, and inside this text we're going to go and put the gamer tag of one of the main characters, which is Ian. Now that we have those three things, we're going to highlight them all, right click, and we're going to pre-compose them. Pre-composing means we're going to throw them into composition, so think about it like a folder inside of a folder, and this folder is like all the items merged into one. So while we click on a folder, we control everything inside of that folder as one item. But if we go inside the folder, we have all the individual items to play with. So if we make that and go inside of here, we can go and move around the text and play around with everything the way we want it to be. But the second we go out one, now they're all one item that we can only control as one. So we're gonna go back inside. We're going to resize everything. Now I recommend you click on your item and press S and scale it down versus trying to properly scale it with these red dots. It gets pretty complicated and you can really distort them easily, so I'm going to just do it this way, and I like how that looks. I'm going to move the flag over a bit. This is a bit too thick for me. Alright, so that looks good to me. So now let's go and add some effects and let's make this flag look really real. First thing I'm going to do is get glow from the effects and presets. You just search for it and it's under stylize, and I'm going to drag that onto our text and I'm going to drag that onto our flag. Now these are settings I've used previously, so it looks pretty good, so I'm going to leave it that way, but you can change this any way you want. You can change the colors any way you want. It does not matter. Once that's done, we can go back into our original composition, our outer folder, And we're gonna hide this flag for now. We're gonna click on our clip. We're gonna go to tracker in the top right, or on your screen it might be on the bottom right. And we're gonna click track camera. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna scan the whole video for a bunch of points on this 2D image, and it's gonna try and make up the 3D image through the software, which is pretty insane. So in real life, these buildings are actual 3D buildings. There's multiple sides to them. They're not just a flat image where they look 3D. Once you record it, it becomes a 2D image that looks 3D. Alright, so this is what happens when your 3D camera tracker is done. You get a bunch of these points all over the screen, and if you move your mouse, you see this red target just flicker around. What this red target is actually a plane of multiple dots together. So if we go right here, we can see this like slightly to the left angled. We just keep moving it around until we find one that's flat on a building. And you can move around the video and try and find a better point. Ideally, you will get one that is flat, but really you don't need that. You could just find a point that works for you. And it doesn't seem like we're finding anything good, so I'm just gonna go and grab this orange point and create a solid with it. Once that's done, we're gonna see that we have a couple things that were added. We're gonna see a track solid and a 3D camera tracker. All we need to worry about is our track solid. We see this red square in the bottom, and when we play the video, that red square stays with the building that it's following. So what we're going to do is we're going to track an item to the red square, or rather we're going to copy the red square's position path. So we have our flag, which we're going to bring back right here, and we have our square, and we're going to open them both up to position, so you can just click P on both of them. We're going to copy the position from the solid onto our flag. Now you're going to see your flag jump around and look really weird, so we're going to move the anchor position. Alright, so I have to make a couple scaling changes, but this is the idea of what it would look like. Now, if you wanted to make it with many more flags locked onto other positions, you would have to just repeat the process of creating another flag, but in this case you could just copy this one and duplicate it. Then you would go back into your video, click onto your 3D camera tracker, find another point, create another solid, and repeat the whole process. And now you can go and make 1,000 flags all over the place. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope it showed some value. I'm still working on these videos, learning how to show you guys how to do everything without making it boring, without making it seem complicated, because it's really not. This isn't complicated stuff. Even if it was hard for you, it's just some terminology you need to get around, but that's it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for being here. If it helped you out, you can like and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. See you guys in tomorrow's video.